Hey everybody, how's it going? So today I'd like to I actually don't want to discuss this because it's going to make me angry. Can I be honest there? Can I just cut out of my usual opening statement and say, today I'd not like to discuss this because it will just aggravate me. But I keep getting this in my comment section over and over and over. Lewis, what do you think of the new 3% delivered goods tax? So the whole idea here, as said by NBC New York, New Yorkers may have to pay package delivery surcharge to help fund MTA. With the MTA facing a budget crisis, New Yorkers may have to dig into their pockets to help out. Under a new proposed bill, New York City residents would be required to pay a $3 surcharge on packages they ordered online, with the exception of medicine and food. Assemblyman Robert Carroll, who proposed the bill, in my opinion, should be tarred and feathered, but let's continue, says the online shopping fee would raise more than $1 billion a year to fund the operating costs of buses and subways in the city of New York. In a joint Daily News op-ed with John Samuelson, the international president of the Transport Workers Union said the MTA cannot rely solely on a federal bailout. They argued that the surcharge would incentivize New Yorkers to support local small businesses instead of buying from corporations like Amazon or Walmart. They can't support New York City small businesses. You fucks close them all. A delivery surcharge will also undoubtedly encourage consumers, and the Amazons of the world to more regularly consolidate multiple items into a single package for delivery, they wrote. Amazon already does that without this tax. Anybody who's used Amazon for the past 2 years will see that they, upon checkout, they by default choose the option that will be slower, but will consolidate the multiple items into one package, and they encourage you to do so. You need to opt out of that. If you want to have the items delivered sooner, but in multiple packages, you need to specifically choose that. So the second goal here that they are trying to achieve has already been achieved without milking money out of more New Yorkers, and the first goal of getting more people to support local businesses, you fucks closed them all. Like, what are you talking about? You made Amazon the de facto fucking retailer of the entire United States, and now you want to talk about supporting small businesses by taking money from normal people if they go somewhere else. I can't get mad at you. There's a lot of stuff that you could get mad at Jeff Bezos for. Some of the diapers.com shit, kind of fucked up. Some of the stuff that he does with how he treats his workers, kind of fucked up. One area where I don't think people can get crazy mad at him is the fact that Amazon made more money this year. Amazon became the default de facto retailer of the United States. In all of these states, if you run a shop that sells X, you cannot be in business. However, Amazon can sell that exact same item and stay in business. Of course they're going to sell it. Of course they're going to stay in business. And of course Amazon's going to make more money. And more people are going to shop there if you shut down every single place that sells the same shit that Amazon is selling. How are we supposed to support the local businesses that you've destroyed? It's just shocking in so many ways. I mean, there's so many ways to look at this. I mean, the first obvious way, besides the just gut reaction that I have when I read this, which is you destroy the small businesses that you want to have supported, is the more obvious ones, which are a flat $3 tax is not a progressive tax. So the whole idea behind progressive taxes is that if, a tax of $1 million on a billionaire is similar to a tax of $1 on a thousandaire. The whole idea is that there should be an impact where it's felt the same way. So if you purchase a $3,000 television on Amazon versus, let's say, buying a $15 to $18 tube of flux from store.rossmangroup.com, what fucking sense does it make to have a $3 tax, same $3, on the Amtech Flux as you would have had on the $3,000 television? This is the most regressive taxation policy that I've ever heard of. This is the most regressive tax I've ever heard of that is being touted in one of the most, quote, progressive cities in the country. So it doesn't make sense in any way, shape, or form. Further, when we're talking about like the MTA not having money and the MTA needing to get bailed out by fucking over normal people that buy $10 to $20 items on the internet every day, if you just look at some of the basic issues of corruption that have spurred the MTA over the past few years, there are a lot of cases over the past few years where you have people that are claiming over $300,000, $400,000 in pay. And again, we're not talking about some Silicon Valley level job. And again, I'm not trying to insult people who do blue collar work. God bless people that do blue collar work, that build tracks, that lay rail, that do electrical and plumbing work. We need you and you should be paid. $400,000 of overtime in a year. that's kind of bullshit. Somebody's fucking around and doing something there. There's numerous articles in this. $461,000 in pay for one worker, overtime scrutinized by prosecutors. 5 current and former MTA employees charged with overtime fraud. And remember, this is only the fraud. This is only the fraud that has been caught. There is rampant fraud and rampant inefficiency throughout the MTA. Everybody has had that experience of having their train stop at a certain place because there's construction and then having to wait for a shuttle bus to somewhere else. You get off the train, you see 20 or 25 people with hard hats. 23 of them are dicking around with their cell phone. 1 or 2 of them are working. That's your money. And now, as a result of them not having money, because they fucked up all their money before, because of corruption and inefficiency and bullshit, they want to take more of your money now. And like we can't ever have a discussion about spending differently or spending less. Because our budget in the city, it's not like we're running on a shoestring budget. We are spending it's over $70 billion each year in the city, and it grows and grows and grows. Whether it is in a progressive direction or a conservative direction, we can never cut any form of spending, ever. Like, God forbid that the police budget go back to where it was just a couple of years ago. No, we must keep adding billions more. God forbid we stop moving forward with programs that don't actually work, but that cost billions and billions of dollars. No, must be more programs, more fixes, more duct tape added to shit so that we spend more and more money. And the thing is, people have asked in the comments, well, why doesn't any politician ever come in and fix this? Why doesn't anybody ever, stand up to it? And realistically speaking, you can't, because that spending is A, paying for people's jobs who vote in strong blocks, and B, the services that those people are providing to recipients. If any of those services of any type go away, anybody who is adversely affected in the slightest, whose life is 3% worse this year than it was last year as a result of any part of that $70 billion budget being slashed, will be front page of every single newspaper. Any politician that attempts to rein in spending of any type in the city will get their dick chopped off by the press and by the voters. So it cannot happen. It will never happen. What will happen is we will find new and creative ways to nickel and dime every single productive person in this city until there's nothing left. And this is just the stupid way to go about it. Dare I say it? A fucking millionaire's tax, actually, or billionaire's tax, would make more sense than this. I still think that, again, if you have a pandemic and everything in the city is shut down and crime keeps going up and it's a grimy-ass, nasty-ass, crappy city, and you decide that you are going to tax billionaires not at the federal level but at the state level, I still think that's stupid, because people could decide, well, there's clearly nothing for me here anymore. Let me go 20 miles that way where I'm going to pay a lot less taxes and enjoy my life a lot. Again, if you want to talk about billionaires and millionaires tax, talk about it at the federal level. State level is kind of weird. But even that would make more sense than a general flat $3 tax. Because at least when they're talking about the million, they're talking about like percentages of income or percentages of net worth. In some way, shape, or form, there's fairness to it. But to add a tax that is the exact same flat dollar amount, if someone buys a tube of genuine, authentic Amtech Flux from store.rossmangroup.com, or a genuine Atten 862 rework station from store.rossmangroup.com, as you tax them on, if they buy a $4,000 television or $10,000 speakers or all sorts of crazy luxury goods and furniture, that's dumb. That's stupid. And the people who are saying that this tax is going to hit normal people worse than it's going to hit the rich people are right. This is not even a tax on the rich. This is a tax on everyday, normal, average people that, again, would like to support their local businesses but can't because of fucking New York City, who are forced to use these online retailers because they can't go to their local business. They can't because they're closed. And it's just so backwards, it's so stupid, it's so aggravating, and it's such a New York thing to do. I didn't do a video on this because I imagine that, like, again, I'm just preaching to the choir. You know what my opinion is going to be on this. I know I'm going to be aggravated. I know my blood pressure and pulse is going to go up after I do the video, so I figured I wouldn't, but everybody asked. So now you know. What do I think of this tax? It's fucking stupid, like most of the legislation that is proposed in this city. It's just a new way to nickel and dime the people who live here and the people who are stupid enough to do business here, like me. So maybe we deserve it. I don't know. Who am I kidding? We deserve it. We deserve it. We don't leave, so we fucking deserve it. I'll see you in the next video.